So today's session is the principles of freedom. Session is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our spiritual master and the founder Acharya of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement. So far we have studied various concepts. We understood how we are not the body, we are spirit soul. And then we understood how Vedic knowledge is so perfect and so important and inseparable from our existence if we want to become happy. How it is bona fide, how all the sciences, rather advanced sciences, are mentioned in the Vedas. But after all these concepts, there is time to have something practically which we can implement in our life. So far, I'm very happy to hear we got some feedback that many of you have started chanting regularly, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 10 rounds, and very new people have come to that level, even 16 rounds. So I'm very glad to hear that. So chanting and reading Srila Prabhupada books, that is what we have implemented. Now there are few more important things. These are definitely important. Chanting is most important. But there are many other things which are required to make the process quick and perfect. Which are those things? We'll understand now. So society is becoming more and more permissive now. Few things which were unimaginable and it was considered a great breach in what is considered good as per the norms of society. It is very acceptable now. Everything is being allowed. People tell everything is okay. There is nothing like right and wrong. Everything is okay. Right, wrong depends upon time, place, circumstances. So let us come out of this conservative behavior and let us be liberal. Whatever a person wants, whatever a child wants, he should be allowed to do. That is freedom. Let the person not suffer. Just like many people also tell these days. So please follow your passion. Whatever you are passionate about, you think I should do it, you go for it. Whatever we want, we should be allowed to do that. So why should there be any restriction everywhere as soon as there is restriction? So we were discussing sometimes, people are going to so many places, but so much interest is not there in spiritual life. So there was some restriction in one of the temples of our country that women cannot go of certain age group. And then they all started revolting. Why is it not there? We will go to temple. And then all of them started going temple. So I thought this is nice strategy. If you tell people do something, they will not do. You tell people you are not allowed to do this, then they would like to do that. So that is why Kali Yuga is called age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So we are leading a life of hypocrisy, that we all know how much stress is there in our life. But our DP on Facebook, on Instagram, or elsewhere, our stories, they're always nice. We are enjoying, everything is good. And I've seen cases where a person has put up a very nice DP and next day he has committed suicide. It's very difficult. This person is expressing to the world that he is enjoying. So Srila Prabhupada tells a nice story. So once there was a circus in a village. Nowadays we don't see much of circus because of we have internet and so many restrictions upon the use of animals. But circus was a thing very much in vogue some time back. So when the circus came to the village, and it was very special circus, such was the promotion, and ticket was very expensive. So the people brought the ticket और बोले but there is a restriction. क्या होगा? एक एक करके एंट्री मिलेगी इसमें. This is a special circus. बोले अच्छा. So the person who got first inside, when he goes, he doesn't see anything inside. He's not able to figure out circus has started or not. I've purchased this ticket, costly ticket. So what is happening? So then he finds some person. Oh, I have come here to see. You want to see circus? Yes, yes, please come. Then they take that person inside, and then they catch him and then beat him nicely with bamboo sticks, and then they leave him. So this person thinks, अरे तो गड़बड़ हो गया, मेरी तो पिटाई हो गई सर्कस में. Now what will I tell to other villagers? कि I have been cheated. I spent this money and then I got beating. They did not allow me to see circus also. बोले नहीं नहीं बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, you know. So let me not do this. So when people start asking, oh, you saw the circus? How was the circus? Oh, it was very nice, fantastic. It was amazing thing. You should also go. So second person goes. When he goes inside, same thing is done to him also. He is also beaten black and blue inside. And he also thinks, अरे उस आदमी ने तो बोला था सर्कस बहुत अच्छा है, मेरे साथ तो चीटिंग हो गई, कोई गुंडे पकड़ लिए and they beat me very nicely. No, no, let me not tell anyone. Otherwise I'll people will laugh at me. Then he goes side, कैसा रहा, अरे उसने बोला है ना अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा सर्कस है, you also see. So like this everyone was taken inside and they were given nice beating, and everyone is telling that everyone is thinking only I've got the beating, otherwise all have enjoyed nice circus. So Srila Prabhupada tells that is what is happening in this world. People think, oh, my neighbor is so happy, just see, he has got nice car, he is in nice position, he's uh, having nice children, he's having nice wife, or she's having nice husband. See, they are so happy, so flourishing, loving family. See on Instagram, on Facebook, how nicely they are advancing in life. But they don't know nobody is happy here. But people are scared. No, no, they want to show off everything is nice. सबको डंडे पड़ रहे हैं and people think there is something wrong with my life. Let me try to fix it. No. Without engaging ourselves in the loving devotional service of Krishna, there is no question of happiness. So people ask, so why should there be restriction in society? We do not want it. We want freedom. Why should be there an institution like marriage which restricts a man to associate only with one woman? So every person wants to enjoy with many partners. But this thing is very bad. A lot of restriction is there. We don't want. We want freedom. Why should eat certain food items only? It happens in the country. So restriction is, and when you restrict them, they will eat all the more. So there were some people who were, of course, sometimes people go to extreme also. They started killing people. You touch cow and we will kill you. So it is not good to eat any animal. What to speak of cow, which is very important. But as soon as you restrict, immediately people would do that. That is how it happens over here. So people challenge, oh, you are restricting, I should not eat beef. Then so many people started eating beef and they are putting pictures on the newspaper, on the media. See, we are eating beef, do whatever you want. So why this thing is there? Why is there restriction? People are trying to revolt. So I was thinking this is very nice. So stop people. Now we should plan something. Now nobody is allowed in India to study Bhagavad Gita. Then maybe they will revolt and study Bhagavad Gita. This is how it is in Kali Yuga today. So age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So there is hypocrisy. Every person is telling that I am happy, but he is not happy. And quarrel. Everyone is quarreling, fighting with another person. So sometimes if we are not so advanced, we may also think, oh, this is right. Why restriction? Why this thing should be there? This is some old people, some old thoughts. Now we are advanced. Just see how the big nations, they are advancing. They don't have much restrictions. But we have to understand, by using common sense, these restrictions, many such restrictions, they exist around us and we follow very happily, let alone those mentioned in the religious scriptures or other places in the culture, in the customs. So very nice example Srila Prabhupada gives. So there are only two kinds of people existing on this planet. There is no third category. Which are the two kinds? First kind, they live in the jail. And the second kind, they live outside the jail. There is no other thing. Either some people are living in the prison house, there are some others who are living outside. Now among the two, who is free? Now somebody can tell, yes, obviously the person who is not in jail, he is free. But that is not fact. The person who is In the jail, he's obviously not free. And just like we are not in the jail, but are we completely, absolutely free? No, we are not free. There are restriction. If you are flying kite on the roof, somebody will tell. The parents would tell, no, no, do not fly kite on the roof. You are playing, somebody's playing cricket, computer game all day. Can he be allowed to play all day? He will not be allowed to do so. Or for that matter, traffic signals. If I want to drive continuously without stopping, will I be allowed to do that? No, that is not possible. Similarly, there are speeding limits. You cannot speed more on the street. Shall we be allowed to go without any restriction on speed? No. You should wear helmets. You should have so many other things. So why all these restrictions are there? So we have to understand, just like a sick person, a healthy man can eat anything. There is no problem. But if a person is sick, for his benefit, the rules and regulations are required, very much required. And that is required for his benefit and others' benefit also. So just like now we are restricted. So why this restriction is there? There is lockdown, we cannot go out. So somebody can tell what harm I am doing. So let me go outside. No, what is there? Well, if somebody is infected, he should not infect others for others' benefit. And for our benefit also, if we are healthy, if we go outside, we will get infected. So in a similar fashion, Krishna has designed this world very, very nicely, and he has given us Vedas. So if you want to enjoy in this world, there are some rules and regulations. If you follow, then you will not increase your miseries in the course of enjoyment. Because you do not have complete knowledge about this world, just like a person can, when he drinks, he gets immediately very nice pleasure. He gets the feeling, I'm not the body. But the same drink will create chaos and misery in his life, and he can hit somebody while driving, and he may abuse his family members, his friends, and whatnot can happen. So that is why it is told, no, after 8 o'clock it is not allowed. If you want to drink also, and you cannot drink and drive. So many regulations are put. So these regulations are important for the benefit of people in general and for the one who is following also. Because we do not have complete understanding of how this world works, that is why sometimes we start quarreling and questioning that why this nonsensical regulation is there. However, no regulation is nonsense. Everything makes perfect sense provided we have sufficient knowledge. So just like a sick person cannot be given freedom. A person who is having diabetes. So if he wants, no, no, I want to eat nice paratha today, I want to drink milk. No, if he drinks milk, if he eats ghee, paratha, heavy things, he will die. A jaundiced person should refrain from these things. In a similar fashion, now all of us, all the living entities in material world, they are suffering from a disease. So the diseases that we see around us, some viral infections, some flu, malaria, dengue, tuberculosis, hepatitis, or cancer, or whatever diseases we have, actually these are not diseases. Just like when a person is having some, let's say he has got malaria, so he may exhibit some symptoms along with malaria. And what are the symptoms? He can exhibit shivers in his body, and he will have high temperature. So actually his problem is not high temperature and shivers. That is not the disease. The disease is malaria. If you try to bring his temperature down only by giving him a blanket or something, so that will not solve his problem. These are symptoms. So we have to go and treat the root of the symptoms. In a similar fashion, whatever diseases we have, actually malaria, jaundice, TB, etc., corona, these are also not diseases, these are symptoms. So what is the disease? The disease the Vedas mention is Bhavarog. So this material world is called Bhavasagar. Bhava means to become. Here continuously person is becoming something. The baby is becoming young, young is becoming old, old is becoming dead, and he's taking another life form. Man is becoming animal, animal is becoming fish, fish is becoming reptile or XYZ. In this way, bird, beast, trees, we are continuously changing these things. And this situation is very, very miserable because you have to die over and over again. You have to become old again and again. You have to have so many diseases. So these diseases, death, and all the sufferings that we have, it is only because of the disease called bhavrog. Bhavrog means becoming something, the bodily concept of life. The soul thinks, I am this body, and then he gets trapped in the illusion. Oh, I am becoming this, I am becoming that. So, the purpose of this human form of life is liberation from this concept that I am this body. Actually, we are not affected from disease, it is superficial. We are thinking I am the body, and the body is undergoing transformation. So, as soon as we realize, a person may be very much worried when he's sleeping that a robber has attacked me in dream and he's chasing me, he's going to kill me, stab me with his knife. But then I wake up to realize, oh, that is a dream going on. So, in a similar fashion, all the problems, we need not solve the problems individually. Oh, I am having this disease, let me find the vaccine, let me find the cure. Oh, this is the problem, this company is not good, let me change the company, find another job. In this way, problems are unlimited, and all the problems can be solved in one go, and that is simply by self awakening, realizing that you are not the body. I am the body, bodily concept of life. This is our disease. So, human life is meant to solve this disease. Understand, sir, ma'am, you are not the body. You are neither, sir, you are not, ma'am, you are pure spirit soul, spiritual identity. So, to help a person reach this end, the Vedas describe systematic process. So, there are 9 stages in our cure to make a person's life perfect. So, first step is called Adav Shraddha. Some people tell, how do I know that I'm advancing in spiritual life? No. Just like here we have degrees. You have got higher secondary school degree, secondary certificate, and then you have BTech degree or MTech degree and PhD and like that. In a similar fashion, there are steps of spiritual advancement. So the spiritual life starts with first step, and that is called Adav Shraddha. Adav Shraddha means a person has little faith or little inclination that let me go and understand. It makes little sense. What is this thing? What are these people doing? So why do these people, they do this chant, this mantra, something? They wear some tilak and they follow something. Why do they follow that? So some inquisitiveness is there, some faith is there, that is called Shraddha, little faith. And then second stage is Sadhu Sangha. When a person develops little faith, then he starts associating with the devotees. So this devotee association is very, very important. So it is like sitting in a railway coach. Suppose you want to go to Delhi and train is going there. You may sit in any coach of the train. And once you are inside the train, you can do anything. You may sleep, you may be awake, you can read, you can sing, you can dance, or you can run. But if you are there in the train, you will reach the destination. In a similar fashion, simply if we maintain devotee association throughout our life, gradually, automatically, we will reach perfection. So this devotee association is so powerful. So this is second stage, devotee association. Without associating with devotees, it is very difficult to understand the Vedas, very difficult to understand spiritual science and advance in spiritual life. And whatever little faith we have, that also will go away. So this is second stage. A person starts meeting, listening to devotees, living with devotees. That is called sadhu sangha. And then starts third stage. What is third stage? That is called bhajan kriya. Just like many of you started hearing and then developed some interest, and then association, daily association is happening for past many days. And many of you have picked up bhajan kriya also, that is devotional service. A person starts following the regulative principles nicely. He's chanting every day, he's reading every day and following other things. So bhajan kriya, bhajan means following the spiritual practices. And then comes fourth stage. So when you are following the spiritual practices, which is like medicine for curing bhavarog, then the symptoms of a disease, they start mitigating, and that is called anartha nivritti. That is fourth stage, and this stage is very difficult, and it can take many lives also. So what is this anartha nivritti? Why it is so difficult? What happens here? So ultimately we have to understand what will happen when I'll become liberated, when I'll come out of all these things. So human life is meant for liberation. We want freedom that everyone understands. But the illusion is people are thinking they are getting free, but actually they're getting more and more entangled. Now people think I'm very free. Whenever I wish, I can watch a teleseries, I can watch a movie, I can watch anything. I can eat anywhere. I can just order on Swiggy, Zomato, and the thing will come to my place. But, sir, what is happening? You are not getting free, you are getting entangled. So now a person is addicted. Every Friday, every Saturday, or every day he wants to eat something from outside. Now, if he does not eat, he will get disturbed. Now, a person wants to see movie every day. If he does not see, he'll get disturbed. Were movies always existing? What that particular movie existing before? Oh, cricket match is happening, World Cup. Oh, I have to see. If I don't see that, I'll be disturbed. So actually, where is your freedom? You have lost your freedom. In those many hours, you'll be forced to do certain kind of activity. You'll be forced to eat that food item. You'll be forced to do that. I cannot live without a person. You are forced to live with that person. Something happens to him or her, and then we are disturbed immediately. So actually, we are losing our freedom in the name of so-called enjoyment. I want to smoke. This is don't stop me. Let me do whatever let me be free. But sir, you are not free. You are conditioned. Now, if you do not smoke, and just like you would have realized, some people, I was seeing some of my friends. So when we are writing a long exam for 2 hours and 3 hours, they cannot sit because every half an hour or 1 hour they have to smoke. They'll even though they have not finished the question paper, they will leave it and go away to smoke. They would leave early. Not many, but some cases were there. So, sir, where is your freedom? You have lost your freedom. So in that way, if we analyze, we are losing our freedom. अरे इस साल फॉरेन ट्रिप नहीं गए ओ मूड खराब हो गया ट्रिप में नहीं सो यू हैव लॉस्ट योर फ्रीडम जब बैलगाड़ी होती थी तो फॉरेन जाता था कोई nobody was going so we are losing our freedom by this sense enjoyment and by losing freedom where is the question of happiness so we want freedom but freedom is not possible by sense enjoyment rather than actually it is possible by controlling the senses. And ultimate freedom, Krishna tells, when it is possible, Krishna mentions, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. We are very much expert in analyzing how a living entity takes birth here. Male and female gametes diffuse. It becomes a small bubble, fleshy bubble, and then it develops. And then in this way, the hairs they come out, and DNA and this thing replicates and expands, and all these things we are analyzing very, very nicely. How does it happen? So Krishna is telling you have analyzed very nicely the birth of this body, the activities of this body, why this body is falling sick, why it is growing, why is it happening. Very nicely you have analyzed the body. But this analysis is not helping you. So Krishna tells what science, what analysis you are missing in life. So Krishna tells, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. Tattva means scientific knowledge or knowledge in truth as it is. Janma karma chame. So I am pure spirit. There is no difference between body of Krishna and Krishna. For us, there is difference. Dehi dehi vibhedoyam neshware vidyate kochit. Some people tell not Krishna, we have to surrender to the Kala or something who was speaking Bhagavad Gita within Krishna's body. So this is foolishness. The Vedas declare, Dehi dehi vibhedoyam neshware vidyate kochit. There is no difference between Dehi and Deha, body and soul in Ishwar. So Ishwar, there is no difference. Krishna is soul inside, soul outside. His body is completely spiritual. So Krishna does not take birth in an ordinary way here. Krishna's birth does not follow the laws of material nature. What is that special birth? We will discuss. We are having a special session on Wednesday, 6th of this month. That is Narsimha Chaturdashi. Narsingh Dev, who is Krishna himself, he incarnated here in a very unique form. So these festivals are meant just so that we can understand the science of appearance of God. So Krishna tells if you are able to understand this science, you have analyzed matter nicely. But if you analyze the behavior of spirit, supreme spirit, Janm and Karm, how that supreme spirit, what is the science? How does he act? Why does he act? How does he take birth? Tatvataha, if you are able to understand scientifically these things. Tyaktva deham punarjanma nayeti, Krishna has declared, once you leave this body, punarjanma nayeti, there won't be next birth. Mameti, you will come to me. So Arjuna, so thus human life is meant for understanding the science of birth and activities of God. And this science needs certain elevation. Who can understand this science? That is mentioned here. You can see the shloka on the screen. 7th chapter, verse number 28. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mama dridavratah. So people tell there is a lot of dvandva in the philosophies. There is a lot of moha. There is a lot of illusion and dualities. There is a lot of confusion. समझ में नहीं आता भगवान के बारे में. कोई ये बात बोलता है, कोई दूसरी बात बोलता है. तो ये कंफ्यूजन हमेशा रहेगा. प्रभुपाद कहते हैं कंफ्यूजन नेचुरल भी है, बिकॉज भगवान तो विराट हैं, स्वराट हैं, विभु हैं, और हम हैं अणु. कृष्णा इज इन्फिनिट, वी आर इन्फिनिटेसिमल. So always it is natural to be confused about God. But if a person does pap, he breaks the regulative principles. His body and mind get surcharged with negative energies. What is negative energy? Rajoguna and tamoguna. Just like when a person is drunk, he cannot perceive reality as it is. What is happening? Who is my friend? Who is enemy? Where am I? I've fallen on the street. He's thinking I'm lying in my nice sofa, but actually he's lying in the drain on the street. So a person cannot perceive reality because some bad energy, tamasic energy in the form of alcohol has entered his body. So in a similar fashion, when we do pap, our body becomes surcharged with rajas and tamas, and thus we cannot have proper perspective of life. So to develop true perspective, in order to perceive reality, a person needs to be freed from pap. Pap means anartha, unwanted activities. So all those activities which do not make any sense, they are called anartha. Arth means it has some sense, some value. Anartha means it has no value. It is nonsense. So when a person becomes freed from the nonsense activities, antagatam papam, he stops doing all the pap, and he is engaged in punya karmanam. He is engaged in good activities, pious activities in previous life and in this life. Such a person becomes freed from the confusion. He increases sattva guna in his body, and then he can understand the science activities of Krishna. And bhajante mam dridvrata, he can do bhajante, he can engage in my service with strong determination. Because there is clarity, oh, there is no confusion. Krishna is God, God exists, he is a person, this is the aim of life. I cannot be happy unless I engage myself in service of God, in always thinking of God, in loving God. So a person is very, very easily convinced. So this conviction arises when a person is free from lower energies and is on sattvic energy. So that is why anartha nivritti is required. Anartha means any activity which is not required to keep the body and soul together. So now whole economy is down because anarthas have come down in one sense, at least grossly. People are not going for blatant consumerism. मुझे एक कार चाहिए, दो कार चाहिए, मुझे ये भी चाहिए. I want so many packed food items are there. Although food is there, but I want to eat from outside, from canteen, from here, from there. Now we are living without it very, very easily. So these are called anarthas, unwanted activity. Any activity which is not required for keeping body and soul together, that is called anartha. So even Western thinkers were understanding this thing before. That is why they told simple living and high thinking. Now the simplicity is going away from life. So this is very important. That is called Brahminical life. Simple living. Human life is meant only, material endeavor should be only to maintain body and soul together. Because this material enjoyment is actually restriction. The more you enjoy, the more you get restricted. So actually you are thinking by increasing your salary, you are becoming happy, but no, you are creating more unhappiness for yourself. Earlier, if you were not getting 10,000 rupees every month or 1 lakh rupees every month, we were disturbed. Now our salary is 10 lakh per month. Now if I do not get 10 lakhs per month, I will be disturbed. So it means actually you have created more trouble in your life. So earlier, just 1 lakh was sufficient to keep you happy. Now you need 10 lakh rupees to keep you happy. So sir, your hunger has not mitigated, your hunger has increased. So people tell, हम प्रभु अच्छे से spiritual life follow करेंगे, let me become financially independent. अरे आप independent हो रहे हो या dependent हो रहे हो? इंडिपेंडेंट का मतलब होता है कि पहले मुझे महीने में 50,000 चाहिए थे to maintain myself. Now I can maintain myself in 25,000. This is called independence. And one day I can maintain myself without any money. So that is called independence. Independence does not mean now I have 1 crore rupees. Now I'm independent. No, sir. That is dependence. So in this way, if you analyze, entire material life is nonsense and anartha. People are becoming more and more dependent, more and more dependent. So anything which is not required for keeping body and soul together, because at least body and soul should be together, because in this body you can do self-realization. That is very important body. So thus, keeping body and soul together is our duty, and balanced time is for self-realization. That is Vedic culture. So people would take to farming, as we discussed yesterday. 3 months in a year you work hard. 9 months there is no work. You simply focus on your spiritual life very, very nicely. So human life, just like people go for coachings, they go to quota for 2 years. In a similar fashion, this human life, every moment is very valuable for self-realization. You want to do sense enjoyment, you have been doing always, and it will be available. As soon as you leave this body, again you'll get another body if you are spiritually not perfect. So sense enjoyment is always available in all the forms. But in this life, no sir, this is preparation time, exam time. Now you please have a simple life. When exams are there, we somehow manage and focus on writing the paper. Fan is not working, something does not matter. As much as possible I should write. I have just 2 hours with me. So in a similar fashion, in great eagerness, human life is meant for self-realization. Uttishta Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Arise awake because you have got this wonderful boon, human form of life. So thus we should analyze. Oh, I am having all these uh, you know, our refrigerator, it is full of so many food items. Is it required for my eating? If I remove this cake from my this thing, if I remove this coke and drinks from my thing, can I live without it? Yes, I. If I remove all these biscuits, all these packed food items from my this thing, can I live without it? Yes. If I remove all these new bhujia packets I've got from my place, can I live without it? Yes, I can live. Simply I should cook very nice healthy food in which body is fit to understand God. Can I not live without it? Yes, I can live. If I remove TV from my place, can I live without it? Will I die? अगर बॉडी बोलेगी टीवी हटा रहे हो मैं छड़ी चली जाऊंगी बॉडी को छोड़ के तो टीवी रख लो भाई अगर सोल रिवोल्ट कर दे देखो अगर टीवी हटाया आई विल लीव यू देन कीप द टीवी बट अगर सोल बॉडी में रह सकती है बिना टीवी के तो टीवी की क्या जरूरत है हम लोगों ने सालों साल से टीवी नहीं देखा सो नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट सो इन दिस वे यू आस्क योर सेल्फ so I am feeling like watching this video if I don't watch this will my soul leave the body if the soul tells nahi nahi reh jayenge then do not do it please in this way we have to cut down increase your freedom and make your life more and more simple and actually all these anarthas are based on 4 pillars अगर ये 4 पिलर हम तोड़ दें तो बाकी अनर्थात से बहुत ही इजीली बाहर आ सकते हैं एंड एक बार अगर हम यहां से बाहर आ गए देन आगे की स्टेज बहुत आसान होती है अनर्थ निवृत्ति हो गई नाउ वी आर नॉट indulging ourselves in luxury and sinful activities then comes next stage that is निष्ठा तो जब तक आप लोग हम लोग पाप करते रहेंगे अनवांटेड लग्जरीज में इंडल्ज होते रहेंगे सेंस ग्रेटिफाई करते रहेंगे तब तक निष्ठा फर्म फेथ अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप नहीं होगी जब तक आदमी ड्रिंक करता रहेगा वर्ल्ड का रियल परसेप्शन कैसे डेवलप होगा सो ऑल सेंस एंजॉयमेंट इज इंटॉक्सिकेशन वी डिस्कस्ड इन आर्ट ऑफ हैप्पीनेस तो सिर्फ ड्रिंक करना इंटॉक्सिकेशन नहीं सारे सेंसुअल एंजॉयमेंट इंटॉक्सिकेशन है दीज आर आर्टिफिशियल नेसेसिटीज वी क्रिएट एंड बिकम अडिक्टेड टू इट तो तब तक निष्ठा नहीं आएगी बिकॉज दिमाग क्लियर नहीं होगा वी विल नॉट हैव प्योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग तो फेथ नहीं आएगा भगवान में स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में तब तक बहुत सारे डाउट्स रहेंगे 10 साल 20 साल 30 साल बूढ़े हो जाएंगे अनर्थ निवृत्ति नहीं हुई है तो निष्ठा नहीं आएगी कभी एंड देन आफ्टर निष्ठा कम्स रुचि रुचि मतलब taste sometimes we may feel some taste pleasure in spiritual life but ruchi means very high pleasure and always we are feeling pleasure just like as soon as you eat your favorite food there is immediate pleasure as soon as you watch your famous favorite teleseries there is pleasure So as soon as a person does anything of spiritual life, when there is immediate pleasure, that means he is on Ruchi platform. So once a person has firm faith, nishtha, he is have free from the anarthas, then Ruchi starts developing. Then whatever he does, there is lot of pleasure in that. And then this Ruchi, it takes us to next stage, that is आसक्ति. आसक्ति मीन्स वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग अटैचमेंट. जैसे चाय से आदमी अटैच हो जाता है, आई कैन नॉट डू विदाउट ड्रिंकिंग इट. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड आसक्ति, स्ट्रॉन्ग अटैचमेंट टू इट, almost addicted. So that is next stage. Then a person cannot do without chanting. You tell him don't chant, he cannot stop. You don't read Bhagavad Gita, he cannot stop. Don't get up early, don't do Mangalarti, he cannot stop. So a person becomes strongly attached to spiritual practices. So strong faith, then taste in spiritual practices, persistent taste, and after that strong attachment to it, and then bhava. Then a person starts feeling emotions for Krishna, and then prema. Then a person develops love of God. As soon as he develops love of God, he understands everything about God, and then immediately is liberated in this body itself. These are 9 stages of spiritual life. So generally, a person initial stages are very very risky, just like a small child. Anything he can eat, he can fall sick, anybody can kidnap him, so much harm can happen to him. So parents are always anxious. तो उसी तरह से जब तक हम लोग अनर्थ निवृत्ति की स्टेज तक हैं, सो इट इज वेरी डेंजरस, कभी भी हमारा फॉल डाउन हो सकता है. बट एक बार हम निष्ठा में आ गए, firm faith, then a person does not generally fall down. So which are those 4 pillars which we have to break to reach the stage of nishtha? So they are called 4 regulative principles. Which are those regulations? सो इट इज़ नॉट अ मेंटल कंकॉक्शन. लोग बोलते हैं कि आप लोग सिखाते हैं सिर्फ हरे कृष्णा वाले, बाकी लोग तो बोलते हैं जो खाना है खाओ, जो करना है करो. यस, वो सिखाते हैं बिकॉज उनको अपनी दुकान चलानी है, मूंगफली की दुकान. तो बोलते हैं मूंगफली की दुकान में बहुत सारे कस्टमर्स रहते हैं, सुबह से शाम तक आते जाते हैं. बट इफ यू गो टू अ डायमंड शॉप, customers would be less, but the person who comes, there is no comparison between a person who can purchase diamond and mungfali, peanuts. So if you throw peanuts, monkey will come. So if you want to attract monkeys, then you can have peanut philosophy. So very cheap philosophy, no rule and regulation. You just become my disciple, give money to me and this thing, and like, no, that is not fact. So Prabhupada tells you should not keep guru for a fashion. जैसे लोग dog fashion के लिए रखते हैं, मेरे घर में bull dog है, तो people want to have some famous personality as their guru. अरे वो मेरे गुरु हैं. गुरु क्या बताते हैं? गुरु बोलते हैं जो करना है कर लो. तो कैसा गुरु है भाई? इफ टीचर टेल्स जो आंसर लिखना है लिख दो, इज इक्वल टू MC स्क्वायर लिखना है लिख दो, इज इक्वल टू MC क्यूब लिखना है वो भी लिख दो, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. डॉक्टर बोले जो दवाई खानी है खा लो, देयर इज नो रेस्ट्रिक्शन, देन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डॉक्टर ही इज? So we should not keep guru like a dog for fashion. Guru means a person should be willing to follow his advice. So Guru will give advice without any compromise. So thus we don't compromise. Prabhupada told, if I compromise, make it easy. So many people, they will flock behind me, but I will not compromise. One moon is better than millions of stars. One moon can illuminate entire sky, but all those millions of stars are useless. So Prabhupada told, even if one person understood the principle of Bhagavad Gita nicely, I'll consider my mission a success. So thus we can see one moon like Prabhupada, like Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, they created revolution of Krishna consciousness on entire planet in just a matter of 10 years. So thus one moon is sufficient. So it is not our concoction. So whatever rules and regulations we mentioned, they are mentioned across the Vedas, across the scriptures. Just like it is there in Mahabharata, it is there in the Bhagavatam, other places also. So here we see this shloka from Bhagavatam. द्युतम पानम स्त्रिय सूना यत्रा धर्मश चतुर्विधा. तो ये 4 तरह के पाप हैं. कौन से 4 पाप हैं? द्युतम पानम स्त्रिय सूना, मीट ईटिंग, इंटॉक्सिकेशन, गैम्बलिंग एंड इलिसिट सेक्स. So this is called suna, meat eating or animal killing. This is a sinful activity. Illicit sex, intoxication and gambling. So they have some details also. Like non-veg includes meat also, fish also, seafood also, and eggs also. Everything is non-veg. So a person should not consume these things. And it is common sense. Please do not give arguments like proteins and all these things I want to have. So it is just like if somebody cuts your hand, you feel pain. How you can cut somebody's hand simply for the pleasure of your tongue? So it does not make any sense. Animals also have family life, they also enjoy. How we can kill somebody? How we can destroy somebody's family and cut his hands and legs and put him on our plate? So it is very very horrible. We are behaving like demons. हाँ, अगर एनिमल की एजुकेशन में उनके स्कूल्स में अगर डीमन को बताया जाए, दे विल ड्रॉ ह्यूमन फिगर, एनिमल्स को उल्टा लटका के स्किन निकाल के वी कट देम ब्रूटली एंड ईट देम. वेरी वेरी हॉरिबल. So people talk of big education. What is the use of education when you have not developed simple sense? जो एक अनपढ़ आदमी को भी होना चाहिए. मेरा हाथ काटो तो दर्द होता है, मैं दूसरे को इतना दर्द कैसे दे सकता हूँ? So when a person is so foolish, how any degree will help him when he has lost basic sense also of education? So thus great logic is not required. We cannot just give pain to others. Intoxication, alcohol, drugs, tobacco, pan masala, and even tea and coffee. So tea, coffee also makes us addicted. So that also we should leave. Gambling, horse race, lotteries, casino, cards, we all know this. And illicit sex. It includes extramarital sex, obscene films, and even vulgar talks. So all this comprises illicit sex. So we should strictly avoid these four principles: Triya, Suna, Dyuti, Pana, Yatra Dharmash, Yatra Papash, Chaturvidha. These four things, if we are able to follow nicely: strictly vegetarian food offered to Krishna, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex, then our life will be simple. We'll gain a lot of freedom and we'll be able to follow other principles very, very nicely automatically. So we have to avoid these things. And one thing is very important. Now we are understanding the process of yoga, buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga. So there are few prerequisites for executing any kind of yoga, without which yoga will not be so effective. That is mentioned in 7th chapter, verse 27. Yukta hara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So yukta hara viharasya, our life should be regulated. Without regulation, it is not possible to solve the miseries of life by practicing yoga. So which are the things in which I have to be regulated? These are mentioned here. Yukt ahar, first of all, eating. The sense control starts with tongue. If you are able to control your tongue, all the senses will be under control. So the food that we are eating, that should be regulated. So it should be not be non-veg at all. We have discussed it should be vegetarian food and it should be offered to Krishna. And that also should not, we should not indulge in overeating. We should have meals at fixed times of the day. जब मन किया तब खा लिया, एक पैकेट में ये रखा है, दूसरे पैकेट में, तीसरे पैकेट में, that is anartha. That is greediness. That will not help us advance in spiritual life. So our eating should be regulated so that the body is in a fit position. And that too in fixed times, not that whenever we feel like I will do it. And Ayurveda says 25, 25, 50 is the principle for keeping good health. So 50% of our stomach should be filled with solid food, 25% liquid, and 25% should be for air to circulate for proper digestion. In that way, we can avoid the diseases. Yukta vihar. Vihar means our recreation should also be regulated. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Cheshta means endeavor. So nowadays people are working very, very hard. That is why their minds are disturbed. The more a person works hard, the more his mind would be disturbed. He will be in anxiety. And when the mind is disturbed, where is the question of following any yoga practice, especially our process, which includes attentive hearing? So yukta cheshtasya, any yoga you want to follow Gyan yoga, Shat yoga, whatever was possible in Sat yoga previously you follow. Yukta cheshta, a regulation in endeavor is very much required. If you increase your endeavor, you increase your greed and mind will be disturbed. And anyway, you cannot, we have seen in previous sessions, your destiny you cannot change by working hard. So regulated work should be there. Prabhupada mentions more than 8 hours we should not put in our vocational duties. Yukta swapnava bodhasya, and sleeping also should be regulated. 6 hours of sleep, 6 to 7 hours is regulated at night, and if required, 1 hour in the daytime. Daytime we should not sleep for more than 1 hour. Otherwise, we go in tamoguna. And yogo bhavati dukkha. By following this regulation in eating, recreation, endeavor, and sleep, when we do yoga, then dukkha, we can mitigate all the miseries of life. So our life should be very very balanced, very very regulated, not whimsical. अभी वीकेंड है 10 घंटे सो गए, अभी रात को जगेंगे सुबह लेट सोएंगे. All these things are not there. Regulation is important in life. टाइम पे सोना, सोने के टाइम पे उठने के टाइम पे उठना, खाने के टाइम पे खाना, and all these things. And then we have to do yoga. So what is our process of yoga? It is very very simple. It is ABCDE. This nice acronym is there, which we have to implement in our regular schedule. What is this? We have to follow A. A stands for association, as we discussed. Now we have developed little faith. Now the second stage is very important, that is association. और ये सेकेंड स्टेज आपने लाइफ में कभी भी छोड़ी, आप किसी भी लेवल से नीचे गिर सकते हैं. So this association is always very much required. That is why Sankirtan is recommended. Kirtan but sung in association with devotees. Krishna tells Satam Prasangat Mama Virya Samvido. In association of devotees, we are able to understand spiritual life. And main association is association. We have to live with devotees as far as possible. Try to shift to some place where you have devotees, some devotee friends. If you are bachelor, then you can live. We have many many folk residencies across the country. Immediately we should start living in that. At least 100 times more advancement is there by living with devotees. And if you are married, or it is not possible to have living in our centers around the temples, then find a devotee, try to live with him. That is also not possible, then you create devotees. Now it is very very easy. Now there are online sessions, everything happening. Invite a person. If you can explain to him, or you play some online session and hear with him, and then he will also become devotee very nicely. Everyone wants to do meditation. Invite your neighbors that evening 15 minutes I do some meditation, would you like to join? It is very nice. So in this way, try to create devotees around you. But association is very important. We have to live with devotees and hear with them, hear from them. So if we are not able to live with them, or associate with them every day, minimum once association in a week is very very important. That is why from Prabhupada's time we have been doing Sunday feast. Sunday special program was there. So how much ever busy we are, once in a week we have to go and attend that program. So not that कि अभी चलो जिज्ञासा हो गया अब जिज्ञासा शांत अब, no. Once in a week please try to attend the lectures. It is very very important. B for, you would have guessed, seeing on the screen, book reading. So books are specially meant for Kali Yuga, and everyday reading is required. Because Kali Yuga में इंटेलिजेंस इतना पुअर है, कल क्या पढ़ा, परसों क्या पढ़ा, पिछले सेमेस्टर के सब्जेक्ट्स का नाम भी भूल जाता है आदमी. So that is why every day we have to read. And as soon as we stop our reading, our faith becomes weak. And if the faith becomes weak, we fall down in spiritual life. Everything depends upon faith. Now, because memory is so weak, today we are convinced. After 2 days, if we don't read, we'll forget everything. Our memory is very, very volatile. So, in order to keep ourselves convinced, remain on this platform of conviction, regular association, living with devotees, hearing, and especially book reading is very, very important in Kali Yuga. So, please do not miss this book reading apart from the chanting that you're doing every day. I'll share all the books of Prabhupada PDF in the Telegram channel, and I've shared the sequence also already today. In that sequence, you can try to finish the books. Chanting. Now, obviously, this is most important and basis of spiritual life. Whatever you may miss, sometimes you are very busy someday. So maybe book reading you can manage. Other day you can do more or something like that can happen. But chanting, please, you can never miss. Every day we have to do chanting. It is very important. And don't do as a formality, with great attention. अगर आप formality टीवी भी देख रहे हैं, फोन भी देख रहे हैं, चैंटिंग भी कर रहे हैं, ये अपराध है. आप भगवान को बुला रहे हैं और ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं. So very offensive. We'll advance very very slowly. So with great attention, we have to chant A, B, C, D. Now D has two aspects: deity worship and diet. So Krishna is not different from his form. So you can experiment yourself with great love. If you do not have a deity of Krishna, deity has higher standards, Arch Vigrah, you can have some picture of Krishna. Very simple picture. Just like I have this picture here. You can see. So this is there. When calendar is there, you can keep. Or some picture you can have. You can take out some print and then simply offer some flowers or some incense, some lamp to simply frame picture of Krishna with great love, praying to Krishna, please engage me in your service. Thank you for engaging me in your service. And in this way, you'll feel tremendous spiritual advancement simply by offering incense, lamp, or some flowers to the deity. Very, very powerful process. Appears ordinary, but it is very powerful. And diet. Diet means, now this is very important shloka. यज्ञ शिष्टाशिण संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्व किल विषय भुंजन्ते ते त्वघम पापा ये पचन्ति आत्म कारणात्. So here in this shloka it is mentioned आत्म कारणात्. एक आदमी जो अपने खाने के लिए खाना बनाता है वो अघम पाप कर रहा है. पाप नहीं, अघम पाप. पाप मीन्स सिंफुल एक्टिविटी, आपको नर्क जाना पड़ेगा. अघम पाप मीन्स वेरी ग्रेट सिन ही इज कमिटिंग. तो कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि अरे अगर वेजिटेबल्स हम कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं उसमें भी डेथ हो रही है तो वो क्या पाप नहीं? हाँ, वो भी पाप है. इन कंज्यूमिंग वेजिटेरियन फूड ऑल्सो लॉट ऑफ किलिंग इज इन्वॉल्व. अ पर्सन हैज टू, first of all he has to plow the field, many bacteria, germs, they can die, many insects can die, and then you have to harvest, and then when you are eating, when you are cooking in the fire, so many microbes they die. When you are eating, you drink water, so many so many microorganisms die. So lot of killing is involved in that. You eat potatoes, tomatoes, entire plant is out, plant is dead. So a lot of killing is happening. So unlimited killing is involved in eating process. So that is why in our country there was a culture, bina bhog lagaye, unless you offer to God, nobody will consume food. Restaurants was out of question. When the travelers would travel, they would eat in a temple. Temples will have sufficient stock of prasadam for the travelers. They will stay in dharmashala in temple and eat in the temple. So this consuming food from restaurant is very dangerous. Especially the person who is cooking food, his consciousness gets transferred to the food. An angry person cooks food, you will become angry by eating that food. A very lusty person cooks food, we'll become lusty by eating that food. So his qualities we'll get automatically. Thus the devotees, they don't eat food cooked by non-devotees. Only who's chanting 16 rounds and follows everything, and that also we have to offer to Krishna. So when you eat food cooked by devotee, which has been cooked in great devotional mood, we also automatically develop spiritual consciousness, devotional consciousness. So what happens when the plant or the species, whatever, uh, so अपने लिए नहीं तो किसके लिए पकाना है? भगवान के लिए. This is the understanding. Atma karanat, never for self. So when we offer it to Krishna, then that plant जो स्लोली इवॉल्व होके कभी ह्यूमन फॉर्म में आता और फिर सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन कर पाता, डायरेक्टली दैट प्लांट गेट्स प्रमोटेड टू ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ. So that plant anyway was supposed to die, and if that plant it is offered to Krishna, its life is successful. Immediately it gets promoted to human form. So thus we are not vegetarians and we are not non-vegetarians. We are Krishnitarians. Whatever Krishna eats, we eat that. So this science people do not know. So our culture is very, very valuable and very important. In third chapter, 13 verse, it is written. It is very important. That is why Krishna is mentioning in ABCD of spiritual life. So भुंजन ते ते त्वघम पापा. अगर आदमी सिर्फ अपने खाने के लिए खाना पकाता है, वो अघम पाप कर रहा है. तो भोग लगाना बहुत जरूरी है और बहुत सिंपल है. Just don't put onion and garlic. Without onion and garlic you put, and you offer the food to Krishna, and that's it. And simply when you offer the food which is given to Krishna, that is called yagya shishta. Santa, saintly persons by eating yagya shishta Krishna prasadam मुच्यंते सर्व किल विषय, वो पापों से फ्री हो जाते हैं. हमको सारा कष्ट, सारी सफरिंग हो रही है पिछले पापों के कारण, और अगर हम प्रसाद लेते हैं, सिर्फ भगवान का प्रसाद के अलावा कुछ नहीं लेते हैं, तो सारे पापों से फ्री हो जाएंगे, हम खुश हो जाएंगे. जस्ट सी, सिर्फ खाना खा के आदमी सुखी हो सकता है. अगर वो भगवान को भोग लगाया हुआ हो तो सारे पापों से आदमी फ्री हो सकता है. इसलिए सिर्फ प्रसादम लेना, तो हमारे जो भी फॉलोअर्स हैं दे आर वेरी वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट। वो यहाँ वहाँ का जंक फूड। हरे कृष्णा। या आई थिंक इट इज ऑडिबल नाउ। सो सिंपली टू थिंग्स। ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं खाना है जो कि भोग न लगाओ भगवान को। और जब भी हमारी टंग फ्री है, एज मच एज पॉसिबल कीप ऑन चैंटिंग द नेम ऑफ कृष्णा। इससे आसान क्या होगा? सिर्फ खा के और नाम लेके हम स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में एडवांस हो रहे हैं। भगवान के बारे में सब कुछ समझ में आ जाएगा, सारे लॉज ऑफ नेचर से मुक्ति मिल जाएगी इस प्रोसेस को फॉलो करके। सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट श्लोका। तो इसलिए ए फॉर एसोसिएशन। Ideally, we should try to live with devotees, meet with them every day, or at least once in a week, we should hear from them, minimum association. B for book reading every day. C for chanting. D for deity worship and diet. तो जिस तरह से डॉक्टर डाइट रिकमेंड करता है और मेडिसिन भी देता है, तो उसी तरीके से हमारे लिए डाइट है कृष्ण का प्रसादम एंड मेडिसिन इज चैंटिंग एसोसिएशन, डीटी वर्शिप। एंड देन E, A, B, C, D, E. Engagement is very important. अतः श्री कृष्ण नाम आदि ना भवेद ग्राह्यम इंद्रियाय। भगवान को अपनी इंद्रियों से समझना मुश्किल है। सेवन मुखे ही जिह्वादौ। When a living entity becomes सेवन मुखा, सर्विस ओरिएंटेड, स्वयमेव स्फुरत्यदः। ये आप स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हैं महाराज प्रताप रुद्र को। महाराज प्रताप रुद्र 500 साल पहले उड़ीसा के राजा थे। उस टाइम पे मुस्लिम का शासन था पूरे देश में। And the Muslims were very, very strong, but they could not capture Orissa because Pratap Rudra Maharaj was pure devotee of Jagannath, of Krishna. So he was always trying to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but a saintly person does not like to meet rich men usually because they are in Maya and sensual enjoyment. So he was not meeting, but when he saw that he is sweeping the street in the service of God, he became very, very pleased. And thus he gave all spiritual advancement to Maharaj Pratap Rudra. So engagement, engaging in seva of Krishna is very, very important. So we have to do sadhana and seva. So we saw the things for sadhana and this is seva. So some people were asking, Prabhu, Bhagavad Gita kaise padhna hai? I told hum batayenge. So this is the way of reading Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells in 4th chapter, Pranipaten Pariprashnen Sevaya, 3 steps. A person has to be humble, not argumentative and challenging. Pariprashnena, he should ask, he should be inquisitive. And sevaya, sevya means सेवा करना बहुत जरूरी है। और सेवा किसी भी माध्यम से कर सकते हैं। आप भगवान का श्रृंगार कर रहे हैं, वो सेवा है। भगवान को भोग लगा रहे हैं, वो सेवा है। भगवान के सामने बैठ के कीर्तन कर रहे हैं, वो सेवा है। लेकिन सबसे जरूरी और इंपॉर्टेंट सेवा है, कृष्णा भगवत गीता के एंड में कहते हैं, प्रीचिंग। या इमं परमम गुह्यम मद भक्तेषु अभिधास्यति। लोगों को ये ज्ञान देना जिससे वो जीवन की समस्याओं को सॉल्व कर सकें। So thus the most important engagement is preaching work. So this is what we have to implement. A, B, C, D, E. Association, book reading every day. C for chanting every day. D for DT worship and diet. Very simple. And E for engagement. So preaching कैसे करें? अपने resources को preaching में use करना है. Whatever hard-earned money we have. If we don't have money, no problem. Then whatever energy we have, our time energy we can use for preaching. That is also not possible. Then what to do? Dhiya, we have intelligence. Use intelligence. So how I can spread this message? You have some skills, try to spread the message using those skills. कुछ स्किल भी नहीं है, बुद्धू है, बुद्धि ही नहीं है, तो क्या करें, तो भी सेवा कर सकते हैं. वाचा, we have tongue, use this tongue. Or this Bhagavad Gita is very nice, this Hare Krishna mantra is very nice, please you also chant. In some way or the other, try to engage yourself in spreading this message, spreading the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. अरे प्रभु, बड़ा डिफिकल्ट बता दिया आपने. ये भोग लगाना है भगवान को, भोग लगा हुआ खाना है, बाहर की चीज नहीं खानी है. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. मीट ईटिंग नहीं, इंटॉक्सिकेशन नहीं, चाय कॉफी भी मुश्किल है, प्याज लहसुन भी रोकना है, और और क्या क्या बता दिया आपने, गैम्बलिंग भी नहीं कर सकते, और ये तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा हमारे लिए. सो नो, इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट. इट इज डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज हमको हायर प्लेजर अभी नहीं मिला है. सो कृष्णा टेल्स, विषयाविनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिना. आप रेस्ट्रिक्ट करेंगे अपने आप को सिर्फ, तो टेस्ट रहेगा अपने मन में. बट परम दृष्टवा, एक बार आपको हायर टेस्ट आ गया स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ का, तो ये चीजें अपने आप छूट जाएंगी धीरे धीरे. तो इसलिए नेगेटिव चीजों के बारे में ज्यादा परेशान नहीं होना है. हमारी पास्ट हैबिट्स होंगी, ज्यादा फोर्सेस होंगे नेचर के. पॉजिटिव प्रोसेस को आप अच्छे से अप्लाई करिए. ABCDNE, उसके बाद स्पिरिचुअल टेस्ट आएगा, स्ट्रेंथ मिलेगी, ऑटोमेटिकली आप सारे अनर्थास को छोड़ देंगे. भगवान में स्ट्रॉन्ग फेथ डेवलप हो जाएगा, बहुत ज्यादा टेस्ट आने लगेगा स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में, एंड स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ वुड बी सक्सेस. सो दस इट इज वेरी सिंपल. Keep on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, read every day, have devotee association, spread this message, and then automatically everything will follow. But this anartha nivritti is very important. This is the principle of freedom, getting freedom from anarthas. If we are free from anarthas, unwanted things, then we are advancing towards the path of spiritual life. So consciously, we should try to make our life simple and simple by engaging in positive spiritual practices. This is the principle of gaining freedom, not just from any British rule, but freedom from even death and all the laws of nature.